Hello everybody, Joe Bag of Donuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. I just rolled out of bed, finally have a day off. Lovely, thank God. Holy Christ, thank God. Fortunately, only one more week of work till the Christmas schedule, which gives me like pretty much have 7 days straight off, which I'll have plenty of time to record because for some reason they decided to give me Christmas week off, even though I put in for New Year's off because I'm single and I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna stay home. So I'm like, everyone else with a family should have Christmas off, but they said no. Fuck those people and their families, I guess. So it's what it is. So I'll be able to record for like 7 days straight, maybe even a couple times per day if I'm feeling a little perky that day. Hopefully my audio levels are fine on this because I had to adjust them for the last episode of Mahoyo that I recorded, which don't forget to go watch that series. Just episode 3 came up yesterday, I guess from your guys' perspective. I think, yeah, this is going up on the 13th, so it would have gone up on the 12th. And I had to fiddle with my settings in OBS a little bit for that because I don't want to have to fiddle with them every single time in Adobe Premiere. I have to fucking go in there into the audio fucking tracks and move the sliders around. That's a pain in the ass. But it seems like OBS, like, it keeps the audio input, like, decibel levels the same. Okay, if you don't know how OBS works, I'll give you a brief rundown. So, what you do is you make a scene, which is what you label, and that's, like, where you get your video sources and your audio sources. And that's what I have for, like, this. I have Umineko as my scene. Sources, window capture, so that way you guys just see the window that I'm playing on, so that way in case like any pop-ups or whatever come on, like if it tells me my fucking antivirus software needs to be updated, you guys don't see it. And my audio mixer, which has all my little waveform bars mounted around, just the desktop audio. I could set it to only do the window capture, but desktop would still be there and I'd have to mute it, and that's too much work. And then my mic. And then I can fiddle with the bars underneath it to, like, increase how much it picks up one audio source or decrease it so that way it's quieter. And then when you switch between scenes, like from Umineko scene to Mahoyo scene, it'll move the bars around depending on how much, I fiddled with it. Anyway, that's your little recording lesson for the day. What was I talking about? I don't know, man. I just woke up. Feeling a little because all I had to fucking eat for breakfast today was like 4 beers when I was recording Mahoyo, and then I went to bed. So little dehydrated. So hopefully this coffee will put me in the right direction. Anyway, what happened last time? Ava Beatrice? It happened? Didn't see that one coming. Ava's internal partition of her younger self is now a external actor who is independently moving around and is a witch. But witches aren't real, so Anyway, it's getting wacky. It's probably gonna get even more wacky. So let's read and find out. Also, looking up at this scene in the top left corner, that light just like in the middle of like a support pillar. I don't like that. It seems so out of place because you got the big chandelier right above the table. Why do you need an extra little dome light like 8 feet away? It seems a little superfluous. Rosa returned to the lobby. It was still her time to rest, but her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension.
無理してでも横になってろよ。後で答えるぜ。
Yeah, even if you don't actually fall asleep, just lying down and like having your eyes closed and like trying still counts for something.
ありがとう。どうしても寝つけなくて。シャワーだけ浴びさせてもらったから、私はもう十分よ。
Oh, that's where you'll just get murdered.
次の人、休んでもいいわ。キリエさんたちはいかがですか?
God, I wish I had a bigger shower so I could sleep in it. Like, I'm not abnormally, like, tall. In fact, I think I'm a little short. I'm, like, 5'9" and a half. The half is very important, trust me. And, like, like I mentioned before, but when I get super fucked up, I just like to lie in the shower with it on and like take a nap in there. But because I'm like so fucking balled up, like with my knees and my back, it's like like wake up and it's like like have to crawl out of it, like trying not to have my vertebrae shatter from being bent at weird angles.
どうするルドルフさん。休ませてもらう？
キリエは休んでいいぜ。
That's some bad trigger discipline. Get your finger out of the trigger guard.
俺は起きてる。それくらいしか男らしいことができね
No, you can take a nap.
Yeah,
That way you're
okay.
ready to go in case you need to fucking throw hands.
夫と一緒に起きてるくらいしか女らしいことができないから。本当に仲のおよろしいことで。夏日さんこそね。
エヴァと秀吉さ
I
ん
mean,
はぐっす
kinda,
り
but
みたいじゃん
like
か。
Kraus sucks.
やはりローザと違い、年には勝てんね。
Nothing wrong with a little mid-afternoon nap. As though in response to those words, the door to the hall clunked open. Ava and Hideyoshi returned from the guest room.
余計なお世話よ。あらローザ、もう
Why do you
休ん
look
で
so
なくていい
offended,
の？
Hideyoshi? My god.
姉さんこそ
They were just saying like, oh, haha, so old and tired.
無理しないで休んでたら。なんだか寝つけなくてね。シャワーを浴びたら眠気が覚めちゃったわ。ルドルフたち、よかったら休んでいいわよ。
え。
But a cold
thank you.
shower does do wonders.
今は気持ちだけでいいぜ。兄貴たち、先に休んだらどうだ？
ありがたいね。
Really want to get awake, just like stick your head under some water, fucking trigger
だ
that
が先に
mammalian
休む
diving
わけにはい
reflex.
かん。それくらいしか長男らしいことができないのでね。
私たちは最後まで起きていますので、ご心配なく。
How far is the end, though?
それよりエヴァ姉さん、大丈夫？少し顔色が悪いわ。
そういや、そうやな。
Your iron low?
ん？
You have the urge to chew on some ice
ちょい
cubes?
と熱っぽいで。
Hideyoshi put his hand up against Ava's forehead. It seemed that Ava wasn't feeling her best.
言わんこっちゃねえ。年のくせに。生活リズムを崩すからだぜ。
Either that or she's just getting old.
風
You
邪
know,
か？
getting your hot flashes.
夏日、上野南條先生を呼んできてくれんかね。
はい。
いいわ、そこまで大げさじゃない。常備薬は持ってるから大丈夫よ。疲れるとすぐ熱に出るの。心
Oh,
配
you're one of
し
those
ない
people who
で。
like burns up when they get tired? Same.
姉さん、
I get like the
無理しないで。
really flushed, like rosy cheeks.
ありがとう。私抜きで兄弟が集まってると、私の陰口でも言われてるような気がしちゃってね。
Well, yes.
昔からの被害妄想なの。ごめんね。私は何も言わな
Don't
いわ。
worry, Rosa didn't spill the beans.
姉さんのいないところで、姉さんの嫌な話なんて。
No, yeah, because she'd be too scared of it.
どうしたの？
It's a younger sibling trauma, you know. They'll find a way to find out.
Mason.
Somehow they'll find out.
さっきから変
And
よ。
it'll come back to you.
もう少し休んだら？そうね。3月までの金策を考えたら頭痛がひどくなってきちゃったわ。それは良くないわね。
Why are you just throwing
休ん
jabs
でて。
like this?
姉さんの頭痛がひどくならないよう私も実調してるわ。私だって頭痛さっきから辛いし。ありがとう。じゃあ私お言葉に甘えてもう少し休ませてもらうわね。
どうしたんや、エヴァ。
Yeah, like, what's with these, like, fucking barbs you two
急
are
に
throwing
へそ曲げ
around?
て。すまんな。わしらもうちょい休ませてもらうわ。
Yeah, I woke up on the wrong side of the
すまんな。すまんな。
bed. Poor Hideyoshi. After putting his hands together as though praying and apologizing several times, Hideyoshi went after Ava and left the lobby.
空気が悪いな。どうにもギスギスしている。
無理もない。早朝に殺人事件。それからずっとここで銃を抱きながら缶詰ですもの。
I mean, that last part just sounds like a normal
スト
weekend.
レスが溜まって当然ね。
上の子たちもだいぶストレスが溜まってるんじゃないかしら。マリアが心配だわ。こういう時は感触を起こしやすいの。
Just then, they heard the sound of wild footsteps from upstairs. The guest house wasn't a cheap building, so if they had been any normal footsteps, there'd be no way they would have heard them. It was like the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. Not a moment later, in addition to the apparent sound of feet running out into the upstairs corridor, they could hear Maria calling, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," over and over again, sounding displeased. Well, were they talking about witches? Rosa grabbed her head, ruffled up her hair, and voicelessly moaned in anguish. The adults conscientiously turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. The noisy clamor came downstairs and flew into the lobby. It was Maria, who was sobbing, the other children who had come down with her, and Nanjo. In other words, everyone on the second floor had come downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness at the scale of the annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone.
ごめん、ローザおばさん。私たちもなだめたんだけど、どうしても聞いてくれなくて。
Alright, tell us what's wrong.
どうしたのマリア。少し静かにしなさい。みんな見てるわよ。
Yeah, cry a little, a few decibels down.
例のバラ庭園のマリアのバラ、あれが急に心配だと言い出して。
寝ぼけたみたいなんです。急にガバッと起き出して、バラが心配だ、バラが心配だって言い出して。
You mean the one that, Beatrice resurrected?
マリアちゃん、落ち着いて。それは夢なんだよ。
My love.
だから大切にしないとベアトリーチェに怒られちゃうな。また折れちゃってる
I
か
don't
もし
think
れない。
Beatrice will get too bent out of shape.
だから少し静かにしなさいって言ってるでしょ。
The children were taken aback by the sudden rise in tone of Rosa's voice. But Maria's crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer.
ローザさん、子供を頭ごなしに叱ってはいけませんぞ。
Yeah.
こういう時は温かい牛乳などを与えると良いものです。ここにあるかね。
さっき朝食代わりに出した牛乳で空っぽです。
Some
誰
fucking
か
bar this
子供
is.
用の鎮静剤とか持ってるか。
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have the bar there, whiskey on the
ほ
gums.
ら、あの銀の粒みてえなやつとか。
持ってるわよ。ああ、今探して飲ませるから。
Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed her handbag that she had placed on the sofa and fished around for the medicine. It seemed that she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrums. She found it and tipped the bottle into her palm, but it seemed to be empty. Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times, but that didn't change the fact there was nothing in there. All the while, Maria's crying was growing more and more intense. Meanwhile, Ava was lying in bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water.
こら、ずいぶんひどい熱や。きっと親族会議の毒気にやられてもうたんや
Yeah,
な。
stress can do nasty things to the body.
今はもう他の親族たちのことは全部忘れるんや。な。
As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief gently on Ava's burning forehead. Rosa rested her own hand on top of his.
あなたの手、ひんやりして気持ちいい。
Well, yeah, it was probably just under the tap that had cold water going to soak the handkerchief.
わしの手が気持ちいいようじゃだいぶ熱が出とるな。安心せい。すぐに薬が効いてくるわ。それにな、わしの手は魔法の手なんや。 こうしてエヴァの額に手を当てとるとな、
Ah, Hideyoshi is such a nice
ど
guy.
んな熱も立ちどころに治ってしまうんや。
そうね。あなたの手で私の熱が引かなかったことは一度もないものね。
そうや、わしの手があれば医者いらずやで。
Maybe still go to a doctor.
安心して目をつむるんや。すぐにわしの魔法でぐんぐん熱が下がるからな。
うん。知ってる。あなたの魔法。
Hideyoshi was about to say they call it the placebo effect, but he stopped. If Ava said that she could feel magic from his hand, then that was all right for now.
魔法って本当にあるのかしら。
It exists in your heart.
おお、あるで。信じる者にしかわからへんけどな。
Mm-hmm.
そういう魔法は案外世の中にたくさんあるもんや。
魔法が実在するなら、やっぱり魔女は
Well,
実
which
在
has
する
a
のかしら。
negative connotation to it, so hopefully not.
ん？森の魔女ベアトリーチェのことかいな。信じる者にはおるやろな。神様と同じや。信心深い人の前にしか姿は現さんのや。
And
私もね、
schizophrenics.
昔魔法が使
God,
え
what was
た
the
の。
experiment they did? It was. It's like they took 3 schizophrenics who all believed that they were Jesus Christ and put them in the same house together and just like observed them. Wild. I don't remember like what conclusions that study came to, other than yep, these people have a chemical imbalance together in a house. Incredible.
ほう、ほんまかいな。じゃあお前も魔女やったんやな。
私がね、絶対に叶えたい夢があって、それを強く願って努力すると、それが必ず叶ったの。私はその魔法でいつも成績は一番だったし、生徒会長にだってなったし、入
Incredible.
りたい大学にも実力で入れたし、いつだってどんな願いだって叶えてきたわ。
What powerful magic.
そうやな。お前の魔法はいつだって大したもんや。お前は確かに魔女や。そして誰にも負けん努力家や。
If only you knew.
わしゃよう知っとるで。
私ね、子供の頃からずっと心の中にもう一人の自分がいて、そしてその自分は魔女だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんて信じなかったよ。
Mm-hmm.
もし六軒島に魔女がいるとしたら、それは私の心の中の魔女のことだってずっと信じてきた。その魔女の自分に私はすごい感謝してる。
Well,
あなたに出会
at
わせ
least
てくれ
such
てよ
a
かったな。
supportive witch, hopefully won't
Itsumo
turn out as
感謝してる。
twisted as Beatrice. You know, Beatrice, not Virgilia
病
Beatrice
気の
or
時の
Diva
お前は
Beatrice,
い
but
つ
you
も
know.
気弱すぎや。今は何も言わんで熱が下がるまでずーっとこうしてるからな。
You should get sick more often.
絶対に手を離さないでね。なんだか私、自分が自分でなくなるような気がして、さっきから怖いの。私の中の魔女がベアトリーチェに触
You
発
should
され
probably
て、
like go see a
どんどん
psychiatrist.
強くなるような気がして、なんだか私を飲み込んでしまいそうな気がするの。
大
Like
丈夫
just
や。
just to help you get this all sorted out.
わしが一緒にいる限りなんも恐れることなんてあらへん。ほらちょいとヤ
Ain't
バめ
nothing
な
wrong
国に旅
with,
行に
with
行った
going to
時
see like
バスごと強盗にやったことあったやろ。
going to see professionals. You know, preventative maintenance and all.
わ
That.
しが撃退したんやで。
あなた、
Best to find the screws
震
that
度
need to be
計を
tightened
渡し
down.
て
You know, before
拝
they're
み倒
fucking
しただ
flying
けだっ
off.
たじゃない。かっこ悪いけど、かっこよかったわ。この手、絶対に離さないでね。眠っても絶対に離さないでね。
Yeah, but what was it about the gold watch? I was fucking writing about mental health. The whole bus was robbed. Yeah.
そして
何か不気味なものが忍び込んできても
Yeah,
私
like
を
if
守ってね
if you're getting like mugged, just fucking give them your phone and your wallet or fucking whatever. It's fine. Like it's one of those things they taught us in like the self-defense class. It's like the best thing to do is to just fucking to not get stabbed or shot. Is just like fine, here, whatever, take it. Don't be a hero. Heroes usually die, and that's how they become heroes. There's not many living ones.
おう、任せとかんかい。だから今は安心して眠るんやで。すぐに薬とわしの魔法が効いてくるからな。
Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. Still can't believe they got their watch stolen in London. Just then, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum, and screams of "ooh, ooh" could be heard, along with Rosa's rebuking yells. That was probably very annoying to listen to. Or maybe it was taking a toll on her headache. Eva moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and when Rosa had scolded her for it, they had started arguing. And then, the looks of the rest of the family had been too much to bear, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to interfere with Rosa and Maria's problems. But, just for now, since Ava's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else.
ちょいと待っとれや。
Yeah, fucking go outside or
静か
something.
にするようお願いしてくるわ。
早く戻ってきて
大丈夫や。この部屋から出んて。
Just stick your head out. Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's
大
gaze.
丈夫かいな、ローザさん。
ごめんなさいうるさくして起こしちゃったかしら
マリアちゃん、ごめんな。
Yeah, but you're like being real fucking
エ
annoying.
ヴァおばさんな、具合が悪くて寝とるんや。すまんが、ちょいと静かにしてもらえるか。
Maria's tone didn't change after being asked by Hideyoshi. She kept whining and repeating, "My Rose, my Rose." Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and carried her off towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. It would still probably be clamorous for a while yet, but he had at least warned her. Hoping that Rosa would show her capabilities as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door.
またマリアちゃんが泣いてるの
そうみたいやな。ローザさんも大変や。それを思えば、
Yeah, Rosa's
う
not
ちの
very
ジ
capable.
ョージはできすぎや。親が感謝したいくらいやで。
そうね
おお、すまんすまん。ほら、
Yeah, magic hand.
魔法の手やで。
It's like the event in Crusader Kings 2 when you get sick and your court physician comes in and he pulls out a blackened, mummified hand from his bag and he rubs it on you. And usually it works great. It fucking cured my character's cancer. Fantastic. That fucking magic black hand is, is, you know, something else. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. Truly peaceful rose to... What? A very peaceful look rose to Ava's face, and bit by bit, she began to drift off into the land of sleep. I was about to say, like, who's putting roses on her face? As he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. By the entrance, with her small hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss what to do next. She had been unable to withstand everyone's gaze in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs before dashing out of the lobby. And when she went out into the corridor, Hideyoshi had told her that she was being too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though she was about to cry in frustration. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in as calm a voice as she could manage.
マリアはそんなにもバラが
Yeah,
見た
fuck,
いの
we'll
ね
go look at the rose. Like, shit. Like, dude, come on. Maria nodded her several times, moaning, ooh, ooh.
どうしてそんなにバラが見たいの？お母さんが聞いてあげるから静かに話し
Yep,
て。
inside voice.
叫んだら殴るわよ。
マリアのバラ、ベアトリーチェに蘇らせてもらったの。また折れちゃってるかも。マリアはそれが心配。確かめないと眠れない。
It seemed that she was still making a fuss about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again. But she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming.
とにかく今はみんな大変なの。だからママたちに迷惑をかけないで。バラの話は明日雨が上がったら好きにしていいから。だから今は聞き分けなさい。
You're not very good at this whole negotiating thing, are you, Rosa? No wonder your business is failing.
マリアのベアトリーチェのバラ。
Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and had gotten her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought it was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer.
お願いだから静かにして。どうしたらあなたは泣き止むの？
Just go fucking check on the rose.
どうしたらあなたはママの言うことを聞いてくれるの？
Just be like, look, it's dangerous out, it's raining, I'll go look at it for you and report back. Abruptly, Maria stopped crying unnaturally fast. Then she turned around and muttered.
マリアのバラを見たら、ちゃんと明日まで静かにしてるよ。
本当？
うん。
Well, that was weird of you.
バラ庭園に行って、マリアのバラを見たら、もうおとなしくする。本当だよ、ママ。
It would keep Maria quiet for the time being. Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. She did think it might be a bit reckless, but in the end, no murder or anything of that sort had actually occurred. All the clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinzo. If you carefully thought about the chain of locked rooms, it communicated more clearly than anything that was all an act by the victims themselves.
本当にバラを見たらもうおとなしくする？
うん、本当だよ、ママ。
Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. Then she shrugged, as though giving up.
わかったわ。一目見たら納得するのよ。いいわね。
うん、ママ、約束する。
What a strange child. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. All right. It's only a farce. There's never murder on this island in the first place.
くそ
Yeah.
待てよローザおばさん
You know, don't go into the basement!
ローザおばさんとマリアが第二の晩の犠牲者なのかくそくそくそ
I mean, I guess they could, but, you know... Are they really that close that they could count?
今の親父たち
I
や
mean,
俺た
maybe
ち
in a
は
familial
何をしてるん
sense,
だ
but...
ローザ親子の痛々しい関係に気を使ってわざわざ話題を変えておるぞ。そなたらも2階へ上がりテレビを見ながら話題を変えておる。
くそったれ誰か気づけよ一番近くにいるのは誰だよ頼むよ玄関から2人が出ていくのを気づいてくれよ
届かん届かん。
Yeah, you're screaming through the TV, bud.
二人のささやかな時間を邪魔してくれるな。
Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Ava's forehead. He didn't notice that Rose and Maria were going outside through the front door at all. In that case, there's no way that the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice either. And the cousin's room upstairs was even worse.
そなたは何を慌てておるのか。第一の晩にて犯人は事故死したとの大胆な察してみてわらわを打ち破ったではないか。ならばもう、
Yeah.
この島に犯人はおらぬことになるぞ。何を
I mean,
心配する
it's
必
real
要があると
rainy
いう
out.
のか。
And the rain could have washed away the topsoil and exposed a rock, and they could trip on the rock and hit their heads and die.
うるせえよ、しらしらしいんだよ。誰か引き止めろ。二人が殺されるんだ。誰か止めろ。
There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately, the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate. Because if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa would surely have hesitated to go outside. Maria found her own rose with its gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted, with the promise that Maria would only have one look at it, but she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on. So she decided to go along with her until she was satisfied. She believed there wasn't a culprit. But if by any chance she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. Things got bad. She would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. Keeping the innocently rejoicing Maria in the corner of her eye, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Huh? Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden with all its wind and rain. Gold-colored? Had to have been her imagination. Because, to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. It's all being, projected, from a projector upstairs. Just a light show.
無理せんでやっぱり南條先生を呼んでこんか。
大丈夫だ。
You don't sound alright.
この手を離さないで。お願いだから離さないで。
Ava was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night, and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though we understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that Ava's sudden fever was a sign of some serious illness. Several times, Hideyoshi suggested to call Dr. Nanjo, but Ava resisted firmly, pleading with him, saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away.
わかった。でもな、お昼になったら必ず南條先生に見てもらうんやで。
Does like having a piece of your soul broken off like have some negative impact on the body?
それを約束できるならずっとここにいてお前の顔してきやがったな。
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。
You really don't sound it.
あなたの手の魔法で必ずこんな熱なんか下がっちゃうから。
Even as she said that, Ava's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest.
離さないで。離さないで。
You're kind of having a rough one here. saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the figure beyond the bush showed itself.
エヴァおばさん。
We got
びっくりしたわ。姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
ええ、そうよ。お父様の黄金の話よ。
お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して。ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。
悪巧み？何それ？
姉さんが何を考えていても勝手よ。私は邪魔する気なんてない。だからマリアの前では許して。私は
let's not be airing
分け
this
前さ
dirty
えもらえれ
laundry.
ば十分なの。
分け前？
Ava started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then, Maria said just one thing.
おばさん誰？
What uncouth laughter.
私のもの。この黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェのものよ。
Dun, dun, dun.
エヴァ、大丈夫か？エヴァ、エヴァ、エヴァ。
握っていて、離さないで。私じゃない誰かに連れ去られないように。
Yeah, being in two places at once must do some weird things, huh?
私の手を握っていて、離さないで。
Hey, yeah, there we go. That's
お
more,
前
that's
が
more
何を
like
努
it.
力したの？何も努力してない。いつも私たちの影に隠れてのらりくらり。いつも戦わずに影から影へと逃げ回っていたお前に、後ろ宮家の黄金を無心する資格など本当にあると思ってるの？あれは全て私のもの。
I was hoping this Beatrice would be a little more level-headed, but no.
後ろ宮家当主にして新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ
That'd
の
be
名を
too
継
easy
承した
now, wouldn't it?
私だけのもの。
ベアトリーチェ。ベアトリーチェだ。ママ、ベアトリーチェ。
Yeah, it's Beatrice, but it's not Beatrice, but it's still Beatrice. Frolicking around, Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。
Yes and no?
姉さんな
It's
の
kind of
ね。
complicated.
違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
じゃあ、あんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの？そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。
'Cause I killed you!
ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私、あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。その中身が溢れ出しているのを
Ugh.
昨日のことのように思い出せる。そのあんたがどうして生きてここにいるのよ。
黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてるか。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。
The concept of Beatrice lives on.
ゆえに無限。ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。
哀れね。
It's like the Halloween movies. That gold had caused you to lose the distinction between fantasy and reality.
もはや私はお前の姉ではないというのに。さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして
自らの復活の儀式を引き継ぐわ。ロノウェ、私はどうすればいいの？
Hello.
ロズイのまま、もはや
Just
ベアトリー
showing
チェ
up,
様
huh?
にはどのような思いも実現できる力が
Are we doing it under the you know, you don't got to worry about stealth because, you know, if there's no one alive to report it, you know, no one saw you.
少し扱えば慣れるでしょう。
Tree falls in the forest and all that.
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。第2の番に寄り添う二人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
The first thing the new Beatrice wished, no, first magic she tried to use, was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the ground retreated all by itself to the distance below them. Honestly, this rain rushing down on the black, background is really disorientating when I'm trying to read. The ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Rosa finally realized that the ground hadn't retreated into the distance below her, but that she and the witch had been sucked up into the rainy sky. Time to start blasting! Nope, you just got your own different screws loose than the other Beatrice. Great, love it. To humans, shackled by gravity, there's nothing more unnerving than not having their feet on solid earth. However, to Beatrice, who had learned the joy of being released from gravity as a new witch, it was enough to cause her whole body to shake with delight. I'm sure Char would fucking love you. Your soul is now unshackled from gravity.
昔小さい頃魔女になって空が飛べたらなって話したことあるの覚えてる？叶ったよ。私が本当の魔女になって叶えてあげたわ。
How kind.
やめてよ。夢なら覚めて。あなた言ったわ。夢の中で空を飛んだって。そして覚めたくなかったとも言ったわ。起こした私を恨んだともね。安心して。今度は覚めないわよ。
What a gross laugh. Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we wish together to fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rokenjima? Now, I'll make that dream a reality for you. This is why I want to share this joy with you and no one else. No, don't look down, then you fall. That's fucking... You'll get sucked into the cartoon logic. Alright, you've had your fun. Either that or you'll just get hit by it. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over. You gotta word that carefully, though.
なら地上におかえりなさい。
Slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. And she decided to listen to her former sister's request. There you go. The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker and stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. No, she began to fall.
いけない。そうか、ちゃんと下ろしてあげないとこういうことになるのね。
Splat! Which hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting, but she still wasn't used to using magic. After plummeting about 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her, so she willed for Rosa not to die. Yep, remember your original form. What she did, gold butterflies coiled around Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Rosa's body, which had laid out a radical carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. Torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life. No human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they have surpassed humans. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization that she was a witch than flying through the sky had. Yeah, power over life and death. I'm sure that you won't abuse this at all.
死んだ命をも私は蘇らせられるの？
もちろんです。ベアトリーチェ様はすでに
But just because you can doesn't mean you should.
生きることも
Power
死す
and responsibility and all that.
生かすことも殺すことも
The guy in the rice box talked about it.
無限に繰り返されその輪廻を支配する女王こそが無限の魔女であるベアトリーチェ様なのです。
金魚鉢を落としたことがあるわ。涼しげな美しい鉢が割れてしまって二度と元に戻らなかった。
Was there a goldfish in the bowl at the
床
time?
に叩きつけられた可愛いデメキンは二度と泳ぐ姿を見せてくれなかった。
I mean, it would have if you just like picked it up and like put it in a cup of water while you prepared like another tank for it.
私がいくら泣いても使用人たちは壊れたものと死んだものは蘇らせられないと首を横に振ったって。あの時学んだのよね。物は壊しちゃいけない。
Yeah.
人は殺しちゃいけないって。だって直せないんだもん。じゃあ直せるなら壊しても怒られないということでしょ。
Still doesn't make it right.
すごいすごいすごいすごい
For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had succeeded was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and also cruel. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. The witch landed in front of her and held out a hand.
すまないわねローザ。
Yep, upsie daisy.
空を飛ぶのがこんなに楽しいとは思わなかったわ。ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。そして人間がこんなにもろく死ぬのも知
Yep,
らなかったの。
real fragile things.
でも生き返らせてあげたからもう平気。だから起きて。私ともっと遊びましょう。
I think I'm gonna lay on the ground for a little bit. God. Is like becoming a witch just mean you get like the worst fucking laugh in the world? What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all about them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. I can let you drown in an ocean of jelly. I can swallow you up in a mountain of cake. I can even make you grow butterfly wings and let you fly around the garden. I'll do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, okay? Yeah, drowning ain't a good way to go. Rosa was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, or drops of orange juice. Ugh! How sticky. Hold on. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was from a dream she had talked about when she was young, the ocean of jelly. The black part was coffee jelly, the red was strawberry, the yellow was pineapple, the green was melon. And what was the white part? An apple, perhaps? Did Rosa even have time to think something like that? Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. Bloop. And sank deep into a grape-flavored purple sea. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sank on, deeper and deeper, as deep as the Marianas Trench. Compressed tight by the water pressure of the jelly ocean, as her ribs crushed and crunched as her spine snapped and cracked. In the end, she had become a small, frail meatball. Nah, that sounds pretty bad. The instant I snapped my fingers, the meatball that had become Rosa was launched up into the sky. Alright, back to normal. And after being enveloped in a golden brilliance, she returned to her original form. It was as simple and easy as returning dried seaweed to its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch, that vacant look on Rosa's face had to be because of the joy from having that dream she had been the dream she had given up on as a child made into reality. Definitely. Probably. Next is the mountain of cake. In an instant, the sky was covered and became patterned black and white like a chessboard. That almost transparent white part was her favorite gelatin cheesecake. Ugh! Gelatin cheesecake? That sounds atrocious! The elegant black part was a slightly bitter gâteau au chocolat. I butchered that pronunciation, but we don't respect the French here, so I don't care. They were a ceiling, they were a mountain, and those several billion cakes were thrown down towards Rosa. If you pile those cakes up, they would surely be taller than Everest. So they probably weighed, I'm not too sure, but it was probably heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. Smush. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. So a very, very natural result, Rosa was crushed to death. In less than a second. Her bones were broken throughout her body and her insides were all smashed and forced out. Blah, 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 blah. And yet, still an even greater number of cakes piled up on top. And Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between the cakes. She became as thin as a single hair, was probably smashed out into an area of a tennis court. That world, swallowed up by cake, was once again absorbed by a golden flash. Then, as though it had all been a dream, Rosa was revived once again. Of course, it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. By that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they are born, had already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she had gone through that which humans cannot, the precious experience of dying more than once. Yes, metamorphosize. The fly. You now have to turn into Jeff Goldblum. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. While she did, Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. She shrank down to the size of a real butterfly. Then, golden wings sprouted from her back, and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. However, while a human body could withstand this wind, it was different matter for a butterfly's body. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of wind, and she spun in circles throughout the rose garden. That gentle bed caught her as she tired from dancing. The soft knit hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. Ooh, spiders! Ugh. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming its rare guest who had wandered in on this stormy night. That owner, which should have been small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of canopy bed to Rosa. Yeah, that's a rough one. Need an assist? Oh, I don't like that. And then it would come in like wrap up the rock, if it was a strong enough web. Yeah, they suck out your insides, they turn you to goop. Well, that's also because they usually eat insects which have an exoskeleton, so it would probably just dissolve like a fleshy, soft thing, like Rosa. Yeah, I did that as a kid. Not with spiders, though. I mean, not with butterflies, because, you know, it's a pain in the ass to catch butterflies. Normally just like ants or whatever. Ooh. This is probably someone's fetish. What? That's a rough one. Ooh.
実に自由に魔法を使いこなす。面白い面白い面白い面白い。バトラも笑えるだろう。
Not really.
ふざけんな。もう止めろ。何が楽しいんだよ。おかしい。てめえおかしいぞ。
Yeah, fucking Beatrice, you got some fucking weird tags in your favorites list, don't you?
こんなことをして何が楽しいってんだ。
あんなに楽しそうじゃないかよ。無理もない。魔法は楽しいもんな。思い出すよ。 わらはもう魔法が
Oh,
使え
I'm
るよ
sure
うに
you
な
did.
った時はすっごくはしゃいだもんさ。
I'm sure you were the only one having fun.
わかるぜわかるぜ。あのはしゃぎっぷりが心の底からわかるさ。この喜びや感動、バートラには共感できないんだろうな。ああ、残念残念。バートラだってわらわを認めればいつだって魔法を教えてやるぞ。
I don't know how
人間
good
の
a
束
teacher you
縛を
would
逃れ
be.
た瞬間の喜びは筆舌に尽くしがたい。そなたに教えてやりたいよ。
But you see, Battler's a human.
あの
He
感
doesn't
動。
want to be unshackled from his humanity.
そなたの生み出す魔法の世界もぜひ一度見てみたいものだ。楽しくなってきただろう。魔法が使いたくなってきただろう。魔女もなかなかに楽しいものであるぞ。そなたには特別に教えてやる。
Special friend discount.
一緒に空を飛ぶ喜びとか、一緒に海を潜る喜びとか、人間の制約を超えた瞬間に知る世界がどれほどに広かったのかという感動を
Australia, we need
そ
help.
なたにも教えてやる。そしたら楽しいだろうな。
Battler's getting spun around like a fucking top right now. There's no malice in Biyuto's expression. It's hard to believe, but she was genuinely enjoying this cruel show. As though she were sharing her appreciation with Battler. And she thought she was sharing her appreciation with Battler. Battler was aghast at the vastly, hopeless different measure of value.
信じられねえ。てめえ、絶対変だぞ。もうやめろ、チキシャ
Yeah, she's running on some different song.
ワルギリア、このおかしな茶番を止めさせるんだ。どうすりゃいいんだ。
私たちは万能の存在です。万丈には触れられません。
Just gotta fucking close your eyes and plug your ears. Virgilia shook her head apologetically. She was the one who had already been killed. Did that mean she couldn't interfere in any way? Well, yeah, we're playing chess, quote unquote, here, so pieces off the board. Can't do shit. Can't come back into play. As Biyuto continued to enjoy it in a crazed sort of way, Battler lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her. What
やめろ
collar?
やめろやめろ。
You mean like the one around her neck, or like more like her dress lining?
いい加減にしろ、魔女め。あれがエヴァおばさんだってのか。ありえない。俺の知ってるエヴァおばさんは確かに意地悪なとこも少しはあったけど、こんな残酷なことをする人じゃ断じて
Well,
あり
you
え
know,
ない。
it's the darkness in the human heart with nothing else to, you know, rein it in, you know, the human part. So now it's just unchained malice.
すべてお前のまやかしだ。ローザおばさんをもてあそぶな。エヴァおばさんをもてあそぶな。今すぐこの茶番を止めさせろ。
だからローザと遊んでいるの
Yeah.
はもうわらわではないというに。
It's Beatrice that's doing it all.
新しきベアトリーチェだというに。そんなにギャーギャーわめくほどに残酷か。そなたもこういうの実は結構好きだろうが。
No, I don't think Battler's big into the snuff tag.
実はちょっぴり魔法に興味を持ってきて。何をする。
Yeah, kid gloves off. For the first time, Battler slapped Biyuto across the cheek. Biyuto didn't know why something like that would have been done to her, and a stunned expression rose to her face. Battler found that expression even more unforgivable, and he roared.
ああ、これが面白いだ。お前の頭はどうなってんだ。死ね。
Hell yeah!
頭を輪切りにして、てめえ
Just drop the
で
fucking
覗い
kill
てみろ。
yourself.
絶対に中身がごっそり抜けているぜ。
Didn't know Battler played League.
今すぐやめさせろ。この悪趣味な茶番をやめさせるんだ。俺はお前を許さない。よくもこんな残酷なことを。お前のこと少しでも笑えるやつだと思ったこ
God,
と
I
もあ
need
っ
to
た
get
が
a soundboard so that way I can
俺
get
は
like
もう二度
effects
と
to,
勘違いしない。
like when he said kill yourself, I could have hit like the big boom sound. that's like in all the meme videos that kids are into on their TikToks.
お前はただ残酷なだけの怪物だ。俺の前に現れるな。二度とだ。
Yeah, we're not friends anymore.
お前と話さない。お前の顔など見たくもない。聞こえたか？俺の前に現れるな。お前なんか消えてしまえ。
Yep, there's your little shield again. The instant Battler screamed, the power that resisted the witch became a red wall, which repelled Beato, knocking her back onto her butt.
なんだというのだ。面白い見物ではないかよ。
Difference in values. She spoke as though making an excuse, but the person whose words were directed at, Battler, was no longer there. His figure had suddenly disappeared into the darkness. But Beato pouted her lips and continued trying to explain herself.
いや、確かにちょっとあれかなとは思う。
But what, you just get used to it?
こんなの無邪気ないたずら程度であろう。どう殺そうが。
Oh god,
結
you
局は生き
fucking...
返らせて
You
お
like
るで
those
はない
prank
か。
videos, don't you?
人間は終わりさえ良ければ何でも良い生
Where
き物
someone
で
just
はなかったのか。
harasses people and like they're just like epic prank and just as an excuse to like actually like fuck with people. Like not in a funny haha way, but like what the fuck is wrong with you way.
のうお師匠様。そこまでへそを曲げ
You're
られ
alone
る
on
もの
this
で
one.
もある前に。
Maybe your furniture will back you up, but you know, not the people that count. She was hoping for approval, but Virgilia simply faced her with an indifferent expression. To Beato, at the moment, even an exasperated face would have seemed better.
私から特に言うことはありません。あなたが楽しいと思うならいつまでも見続けていると良いでしょう。終わったら呼びなさい。
Yeah, us reasonable people want nothing to do with this.
それまで私も姿を消します。
Think about what you've done and why it upset Battler so much. Following Battler's lead, Virgilia hid herself in the darkness. Left sitting there on her own, Beato didn't have a clue what was going on. Felt like she had been made out to be the bad guy.
なんだよ。面白いショーじゃないかよ。ちょっとは悪趣味かもしれないけど、割と面白いじゃないかよ。なあ、ロノウェ。
Renove's working for the other Beatrice.
そこまで怒るほどじゃないよな。
But no, but I guess he's still just hanging out here, though.
お嬢様の
Still needs someone to serve tea.
バトラ様にも面白いとは限りません。
わらはそんなにも嫌われとるか。そりゃ確かに対戦相手だから敵同士ではあるが、座興笑い合いのほ
But
ど
that's just like the game, right?
バトラと一緒に拍手できたように一緒にゲラゲラ笑い合えると思ったのに、一程度のことすらワラワは拒絶されるというのかな。魔女だと認めぬのは許す。それを競い合うゲームなんだから。でも顔も見ない、話もしないって無視はいくらなんでもないだろう。
Yeah, you fucking treated him like shit.
わらわはそんなにも嫌われ者なのかよ。
これまでお嬢様は十分に嫌われるだけの差し出をいたしました。悪魔の私でさえバトラ様の気持ちが少しは分かろうというもの、それが理解できぬのはお嬢様が
Yeah, she's pretty dumb.
鈍感が過ぎるのではないかと。
There ain't much fucking knocking around in that head.
うるさいうるさいうるさいうるさい。お前も消えて
She's
しま
not
え。
much for emotional intelligence, and you know, regular intelligence too.
はい、かしこまりました。
She doesn't really leave her with much.
それでは失礼いたします。
Even Ronove hid himself in the darkness, and Beato was left alone. The only one in the rainy garden. No one will play with a lonely witch. Because no one would play with her, she was a lonely witch.
なんでわらわ
Yeah. Have your Principal Skinner moment. Is it me that's out of touch? No, it's everyone else that's wrong.
遊ぶ？
How about a nice game of like Uno?
もちろんマリアも一緒に遊んであげるわ。みんなで仲良くお散歩しよう。煮えたぎるチョコレートの鍋を泳いでケーキ膨らむオーブンの中をピクニックしよう。
の新しきベアトリーチェ。
What, you coming for a second opinion? Or are you just asking to tone it down a bit? Behind the witch who was continuing her spree of tragedy, Beato showed herself. Her expression was very rare for her. It was a kind of restrained, somehow unreliable, miserable.
あら、これは仙台ベアトリーチェ様、ご覧くださりましたか？魔法の力は本当に素晴らしい。魔女に生まれ変わることができたことを今ほど楽しいと思ったことはありません。まるでいつまでも終わらぬお遊戯の時間のよう。さあ、仙台様もご一緒に遊びましょう。その前にちょっとお待ちになってくださいね。
Yeah, gotta finish up Rosa.
二人はオーブンの中で焼け焦げて死んでしまったからまた蘇らさないと。
Crispy.
まるでイーストで膨れるパンみたいに、オーブンの中で膨れるクッキーみたいに。
Some nice splitting meat.
話を聞けというのに、そのだな、第二の番の生贄にはもう十分であろう。
we gotta get the show on the road, huh?
確かに殺し方については指定がないが、それ以上もてあそぶことはあるまいに。
何をおっしゃいます、仙台様。さっきロノウェイから聞きましたよ。仙台様の魔法はもっともっと素敵で残酷でやりたい放題
Damn,
だっ
he's
た
just
って。
fucking throwing shade immediately behind your back.
6人のお腹からお菓子が溢れ出すハロウィンパーティーなんて本当に素敵。
Yeah, but that was more just like set dressing.
ならば私はアリスのお茶会を演出し
It
よ
was
う
more,
かし
it
ら。
was more like a one and done thing.
なんでもない日を祝うお茶会にみんなを招待して私が魔法で次々おもてなしするの。仙台様みたいに素敵にできるかしら。個性的に残酷にポップにキュートにできるかしら。
That's a face.
今思うとおとぎ話とかってどれも残酷でしたよね。そのおとぎ話の魔女に自らがなってみてようやく理解しました。
わらはもう以前までのは少しやりすぎたかな。
It may have gone a little too far in a couple
思
places.
っておるのだ。まあ黄金の魔女たるもの、少しは気品があっても良いかと思うかな。
仙台様が
Yeah,
何
the
をおっしゃって
first
るの
round
か分
was
かりません。
very straightforward.
でも一つだけ分かります。今の私がどれほどを尽くしても仙台様の残酷さには到底及びません。もっともっと頑張らなくちゃ。もっと残酷になって立派な黄金の魔女にならなくちゃ。
だからそれはもう
Yeah,
十
you're
分だと
kind
いう
of
の。
losing the plot on what it means to be the Golden Witch.
とにかくわらわの先代としての命令だ。第二の番はもう十分だ。わらわが少し手本を見せる。下がって見ておる。
はい、仙台様。どんな無残で残酷でおぞましい殺し方を見せてくれるのか楽しみです。
Just gonna go back to tried and true stakes. The new witch pinched the sides of her skirt and gave a graceful bow, stepping back as the expectant gaze rose to her face. She was expecting an even more cruel magic that surpassed even herself.
まあそうだな。そういう殺し方しかできないうちは半人前なのだ。わらわが上品な黄金の魔女らしい殺し方を見せようと。
Yep, upsy daisy. But Beato waved her pipe. 7 colors of smoke poured out, reviving Rosa and Maria. Compared to how the new Beatrice had done it a short while ago, it was slightly gentler. Probably gentler than how Beato had done it herself up until now. Rose's conscience had already grown dim from the pain of so many repeated deaths. But even so, she pleaded that her daughter be spared.
もう許してせめてマリアだけでも許して
Yeah, this ain't fun anymore, is it, Maria?
すまぬ我が弟子がその少し羽目を外しすぎたのだ
Yeah, awkward.
許せ
What even happened in the first game that only, like, fucking Maria's jawbone was left? Like, what the fuck happened, Beatrice? When Maria realized that it was the real Beatrice, she jumped onto her.
あとは約束したよね。マリアを黄金島へ連れてってくれるって約束したよね。そこではママとも仲良しになれてみんなずっと笑ってるの。
Well, yeah, but, you know, everyone will get revived later, so...
そこへ連れて行ってくれるって
You gotta go through the prerequisite steps, and you rolled bad on this one, Maria.
その約束はもう守れる
Speak up, Beatrice.
非分の謎を解く者が現れたからわらわはもう黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェではないのだだからすまないそなたとの約束はもう守れる
Like, Maria's fine, it's just Beatrice who's like, just yes, Maria.
どうしてヘアと約束してくれた
すまない
What kind of witch breaks a promise?
本当に
A
すまない
contract.
だからせめて約束を守れなかった詫び
I'll give you a truly quiet sleep, which will never be disturbed again. Ito embraced Maria with a loving expression. Then, softly, a red bruise appeared on Maria's neck. It was a very gentle bruise. It grew redder and redder, and when it distinctly formed itself into the shape of a hand, Maria's neck tilted suddenly, peacefully, as though she had fallen asleep.
マリア
すまないそなたが第二の番の生贄であることは謝らぬそういう運命なのだから
Mm-hmm.
しかし
Yeah,
そ
that
の
was
捧げ方が
a
悪趣
little
味だ
rough.
ったことは謝らねばならないこれが最後のもう二度と妨げられることは
Why is Beatrice's mixing so quiet? Ito softly, gently lifted her finger, as though touching the empty air in front of her nose. When she did, a light breeze lifted up, making Rose's body dance lightly like a feather. Then, Rose's body floated lightly, and there was the garden fence, with its spear-shaped prongs.
Oh.
Couldn't have at least... Oh, right through the head, okay. I was about to say, like, damn, couldn't you have at least, like, done the same thing you did Maria to her for, like, a second? The spear of the fence pierced Rosa's medulla oblongata, benevolently, without toying with her, in a single blow. Rosa's life was snuffed out. Compared to the earlier innocent yet cruel events, her end was surprisingly tame. It just looked like a doll shaped like Rosa was leaning against the fence. But she had passed away.
まあざっとこんなものよ
Ito acted proudly, but the new witch wore a blank expression, almost as though it was an anticlimax. And she was forthright with that opinion.
なんだか地味です。ロノウェイに聞いていた先代様のそれとは随分違います。
She needs to win back Battler somehow.
そのだな魔法は上品に使わねばなあまりその 品がないのは
Yeah,
エレガン
boys
トで
won't
は
like
ない
you
のだ。
if you're like that.
せっかく素敵なことが無限にできる魔法なのにつまらない。
これ愚痴るでない。黄金の魔女の道は一日にしてならずだ。そなたとて第10の番を終えるまで
Yeah,
は半
it's the
人
whole
前よ。
endless thing, you know.
今は黙ってわらわの指導に従うのだ。よいな。返事はどうした？返事は。
はーい。
それでよい。それまだ復活の儀式の先は長いぞ。あと5人も殺さねばならないからな。あまりもてあそばずに綺麗に上品に少しあっさりめでいいからな。ロノウェがそなたに教えたわらわのやり方はその悪い例だ。
Yeah, he was fucking maybe embellishing a little.
模範にしてはならぬ。よく心に刻んでおけ。
はい、先代様。
良い返事だ。ロノウェ、煉獄の7姉妹よ。
Yeah,
いでよ。
meeting everyone.
はい、お嬢様。
Got to tell you about the new
ロノウ
rules.
ェ、ここに。
傲慢のルシファー、ここに。これまではだな。わらわもいろいろ派手にやってきたわけだが、まあ黄金の魔女としての威厳も大事であり、
A little overindulgent. Seen the error of my ways. So let's tone it back a bit. As Ronove chuckled at Beato's uncharacteristically flustered speech, he summed it up for her.
かしこまりました。以後は黄金の魔女の名にふさわしい気品に気をつけるようにいたします。煉獄の7姉妹もこれまでのような悪ふざけは改め、以後は最短の手順で任務を遂行するように、ということでよろしい
No
ですか、
more
お嬢
fucking
様。
magic battles with goat people and whatnot.
つまりはそういうことだ。みんな肝に銘じよ。よいな。はい、かしこまりました。わらわが言いたいのは以上だ。もう引き上げてよいぞ。
かしこまりました。それでは失礼いたします。
失礼いたします。
Yep, shoot. Go tell all your fucking underlings.
わらわが言いたいのはそれだけだ。それでは引き続きしっかりな。黄金の魔女らしく貫禄を持って
You're not very good at this whole tutelage thing, are you,
自重気味
Beatrice?
にな。頑張るがよいぞ。そなたを見守っておる。
Acting unsure until the very end, Beato communicated only that to her, became a group of gold butterflies, and vanished into thin air. Maybe fitting to say that she disappeared in a hurry because she was having trouble maintaining the conversation. Yeah, it was a little awkward. After that, all that remained was Maria's outstretched body, pounded by the rain, and Rose's body, propped up by the fence and gazing at the sky. And the figure of the witch.
自重しろ。
Her expression looked just a little bored. There was a popping sound. That was probably her clucking her tongue.
つまんないやつ。
She's like, yep, I'm just gonna ignore all that. Leaving the last sentence behind, she too vanished into thin air. Yep. She had all that new freedom. Wow, it feels great. And then, old Beatrice comes in and is like, you gotta tone it back a bit. And then she's like fucking yanking on her chain. She didn't like that none. But, with Rosa and Maria down for the count, that's where we're gonna end it here for today. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you all next time for the next episode of Umineko. Hope you guys all then. Later. Bye.